Hi guys, welcome to another Diablo 4 PvP build video. Today we're going to be looking over the Druid for PvP in Diablo. Again guys, this is just going to be the skills. We're not going to go into legendaries and aspects because the game isn't fully out yet and I want to be able to really test a lot of these abilities before making you guys a legit Druid PvP build. But we're going to go over the skills and the build that I'm going to use making my Druid going into PvP. So sit back guys, relax, and enjoy the video. So Druid is a class that has a lot of opportunities you can go into in terms of playing. So with Druid, I really wanted to go into the identity of Druid and make a shapeshifting build, pure shapeshifting. I really wanted to go the lightning route because it just seemed really cool, but I was like, you know what? Druid shapeshifts, let's go ahead and shapeshift with Druid. So what I ended up going with is I went with Maul for our basic skill. Now, Maul's just, it's our basic attack. We're going to go with it, but I went with it because it has the ability to get us knockdown. And knockdown is going to be important later because it's going to activate some passives in the build. And remember, guys, the way I built this character for PvP is based off passive synergy, not combining legendary aspects. So when you guys see how good this build is going to be, imagine actually adding the legendaries that could go with this setup to make it even better. The second upgrade for you guys, if you don't know, if an enemy is hit by Maul, then fortify for 2% of your base life. Again, there's a lot of ways we can get fortify, so this is just a nice way to get fortify with our basic skill. Now, jumping on to our main core skill, we're going to go into Pulverize. Again, like I said, sticking with the whole shapeshifting route. I would have gone with Shred, but the reason why I didn't go with Shred is because with Pulverize, we have a way to stun enemies, and Pulverize actually has a way to guarantee an overpowered hit, which again will give us the stun for 2 seconds. So that's why I went with it. This is a way we can get a CC with our main damage skill, and it says your next Pulverize will overpower every 12 seconds. So every 12 seconds, we have a guaranteed CC with our basic skill. Now coming into the passives up here, I'm going to just kind of go in order, so as we get later in the video, you can kind of see how everything is synergizing together and flowing. We went with the max spirit upgrade. Again, this is just to unlock these 2 tiers. Your basic skills generate 18% more spirit. Now this, you could decide to get rid of this, but again, this is just going to help to stack on with our basic way to generate spirit, so that's why I added it on there. I was like, you know what, why not? It's just going to help with our overall sustain. And then over here, your core kills cost 9% more spirit, but they deal 15% more damage. Again, that's kind of the reason why I dipped back into here and got the extra spirit generation, because it helps to kind of counteract the increased cost. But again, these are kind of, you can throw them out if you don't really want them. But I would recommend going for this all the way. Barbarian also has a skill like this, which I'd recommend taking. Anytime, guys, you get a way to increase your damage for a small negative, always take it. In this game, they're all good, so take them all. Right here, critical strike chance against close enemies is increased by 6%. Again, landing crits is going to be very important later, and with this build, our goal is to be close the whole time. Our goal with this setup is to never be away from our enemies. So every time we're fighting somebody, we're going to have this 6% crit up at all times, and this is of course going to add on to whatever our base crit is with our gear and legendaries, etc. You gain 9% movement speed while in werewolf form, and it carries over after you're out of the form for 3 seconds. So again, like I said, we're going to be switching between werewolf and werebear. So that is why I went with this passive. That's why I went with this passive, and I'm going to go with the iron fur. You gain 9% damage reduction while in werebear form, and this persists for 3 seconds after leaving. So you guys see, so we're pretty much always going to have damage reduction up at all time, or movement speed. We're going to be flip-flopping, the whole time. So I think this trio, if you're really planning on making a purely druid build in terms of shapeshifting, this trio you should grab 100% all the time. I would recommend this. If this is your plan, this synergizes all well together. Now, for our defensive skill, we went with Blood Howl. And the reason we're going to go with Blood Howl is because I was able to turn Blood Howl kind of how I turned Rallying Cry into Barbarian into this crazy Omega skill that has so many buffs going for us at once. So Blood Howl at its base, shapeshift into werewolf and howl furiously, healing you for 20% maximum life. So again, we have our guaranteed heal, we have a guaranteed increase in crit chance, Now we have guaranteed increased 15% base damage with our skills. We have 6% movement. We have 9% movement speed up at all times, and we have 9% damage reduction up at all times. So you guys see, like, we're just adding on the buffs right now passively. Kills reduced the cooldown by Blood Howl. Again, we have to get this one, we don't have a choice. And then for the upgrade, I would recommend getting Spirit Generate for Blood Howl. Again, like I said, we just turned this into a heal, and we just turned this into a resource regen. And it's a cooldown skill of 15 seconds, so every 15 seconds, you're going to generate health, and you're going to generate energy to cast more spells. I didn't go with the increased attack speed, because there's other ways you can get attack speed through gear, and I don't really care about attack speed that much. Because we're going to get that, like I said, through legendaries and things like that. Increase your non-physical resistance. I got this for the casters, guys. For example, like, because I think Sorcerer is not really going to be the counter to the Druid because of this passive right here. You can mitigate, 10% of their elemental damage on top of the damage reduction that you're going to have being in Werebear form. And then right here, you gain 15% damage reduction for 6 seconds after using a defensive skill. So again, guys, like I said, we just turned Blood Howl into a heal, into a damage reduction skill, and to a resource regeneration skill, all with the upgrades for it and with the passive. So guys, like, this ability, you're seeing the synergies so far. We're having a very good sustaining high damage full shape-shifting build for the Druid. We're not even like halfway. We're about the halfway marker with the build, and you guys are gonna see it's gonna get more nuts as we get to the end. Now, we went with Poison Creeper because this is going to be our crowd control in PvP. I went with this because it has synergies later that you're going to see with other passives in the skill line that are going to give us so much advantage. So Poison Creeper, we're really using it obviously for just the crowd control CC. We're also using it because it's going to immobilize, and the immobilize duration is increased by a second with the upgrade. Your critical strike chance is increased by 20% against enemies strangled by Poison Creeper. Again, guys, like I said, we have 6% increased guaranteed critical. Now we have 26% guaranteed critical against people that we trap in our Poison Creeper. So you guys see, like, our damage is going to be so high. Our damage reduction is so high. Our sustain is so high. So, and you're going to see why Poison Creeper is going to get very, very busted when we get to this next part right here. Poison enemies are slowed by 24%. So now we CC'd them. Okay, they're immobilized, they can't move, and they take 26% increased crit damage from this passive and the passive up above by damaging close enemies. Now they're slowed for 24%, and the poison is going to linger. Let's see, every 7 seconds. Well, over 6 seconds. So for 6 seconds, they are slowed by 24%. So you guys see, we're slowing them, we're increasing our crit to them, and we're CCing them. So guys, Poison Creeper for PvP, it's going to be the move. Now, poison enemies take 30% additional critical strike damage. So again, guys, going back into it, we have 26% increased critical strike to our entangled enemies. We just increased our critical strike damage by 30%. By 30%, guys. This is the damage, okay? So just think about that. Now, critical strikes while werewolf skills deal 23% of the base damage as poison damage over 4 seconds. Now again, this is not going to synergize with the Blood Howl, but it's going to synergize with our ultimate, which I'm going to explain to you. And the cool thing that this is going to do is that because this is going to synergize with our ultimate is now going to slow and add dot damage to our enemy. So you guys are going to see our ultimate has a way to guarantee the critical hit. So every time we activate our ultimate, we're going to deal a lot of damage, and we're going to slow them, and we're going to poison them. So you guys are seeing how crazy the synergy is right now for the Druid in PvP. Trample, this is going to be our gap closer for PvP, so we can close the distance on our opponent. Again, you're unstoppable, you can't be CC'd while this is happening, and if you knock them into terrain, they get stunned. That's kind of like the variable part, but that's not why we're using Trample. You're going to see why in a minute. Trample deals 150% bonus damage. This bonus is reduced by 50 for each enemy hit after. Again, it's just nice that it's doing more damage, but we have to choose that. Now, casting Trample grants 20 spirit. So guys, our gap closer is not only just a gap closer, but it's also a CC, and it's a resource regeneration skill, and it's on a cooldown of 14 seconds. So every 14 seconds you can hit this, gain 20 spirit. Again, here, Blood Howl, you want to keep this up as much as possible, like as much as you can. Keep this up. This is going to give you increased healing. This is going to give you increased resource regeneration. This is going to give you increased damage reduction. And we're about to get, and then we're going to get to these passives down here that are going to make Blood Howl even crazier. So you should always be howling. If you can do it perfectly, let's say in a realistic situation, you hit the Blood Howl 3 times a minute, okay, which I feel like is doable. And in a minute, you gain 60 spirit just by hitting one ability on cooldown. You know, and let's say within that time frame, you got off 2 tramples. Okay, that's 100 spirit off of using short cooldowns. This is without even ever like touching this. Obviously, you're going to use this too, but you guys see how you're going to have like this resource regeneration between these 2 skills. Now, to get to the final part of the build, we went with Lacerate. Lacerate, the reason why we're going to do this is because it's going to synergize very, very well with the poisoning passives that we have. So we're going to shapeshift, and we're going to become immune, and we're going to dash 10 times between enemies. Now, this is where it's going to get good. Look at this. Each time Lacerate deals critical strike, you heal for 3% of your maximum life. So remember, guys, we have a guaranteed crit heal each time Lacerate hits. Now, it attacks 10 times. So if, obviously this wouldn't happen, but in a perfect world, if you crit 10 times, you healed for 30% of your health. But this will stack with Blood Howl. We have the guaranteed 20%, plus we have this. Like I said, you should always keep this going. So you have a passive burst heal, and then you have a heal right here when you cast your burst ability. Each time Lacerate hits, you heal, and then right here, Lacerate's initial strike is guaranteed to critically strike and deal 150% increased damage. So when you cast Lacerate, you are going to heal, and by getting the guaranteed critical, you're going to come over here. We're poisoned. Hold on. Where is it? Right here. Critical strikes with werewolf skills deal 23% of the base damage as poison. So now this skill is going to do poison, and it's going to slow enemies down. Like, guys, I don't know how to tell you like just how crazy Druid is going to be. Everybody was memeing on this class. It is going to be so good. I hope you guys are seeing how everything in this build is just synergizing. Now, quick shift. When you shapeshift, skill transforms you into a different form, deal 50% increased damage. Again, another way to get 15% increased damage. So we have 15% here. Again, all our skills are shapeshifting. We're always going to be shapeshifting. And we have this where we increase our damage by 15%. So we're going to have 30% increased damage at all times. Okay? 30% increased damage at all times. Now we're going to come over here. Shapeshifting fortifies you. Again, we're going to be shapeshifting a lot, so we're going to be able to keep fortify regenning on us all the time. Upon shapeshifting into werewolf or werebear, gain 12% damage reduction against elites. Again, guys, if I'm correct, players count as elites. So we're going to be shapeshifting all the time with this setup, right? So we have 12% damage reduction here. We're going to get the 9% damage reduction right here, right? So we're at, what is that? Wait, did that say 12? Oh, I'll just make sure. So that's 12. So that's 21 damage reduction. We're going to have that basically up at all times. And then we gain 15% damage reduction while using the defensive skill for 6 seconds. Again, we're going to keep, our goal is to keep this buff going. This is your buff ability. You need to spam this as much as possible. Whenever it's ready, hit it. I don't care what's going on. Always use it, guys. Always use it. So we have 21% plus the 15, 36% damage reduction. 36, guys. For just playing the class. You don't have to even do anything. You just have to attack. 36% damage reduction. Guys, I don't know how much more proof that you need that Druid is literally going to be a beast in PvP, but that's it right there. Now, for the ultimate passive, after being a werewolf for at least 2.5 seconds, gain increased attack speed. After being a werebear for 2.5%, after 2.5 seconds, deal 20% increased damage for 15 seconds. Again, guys, this is like, I don't know how to explain this to you. We already have 30% increased damage with this setup, 20% increased damage for 15 seconds. We're at 50% increased damage. We have guaranteed crit. We have increased critical strike damage. 30% increased critical strike damage. Like, I don't know, like, I really don't know how else to convince you guys, like, just how busted Druid is going to be. But I'm telling you right now, like, your setup you're going to want to do is Blood Howl. You're going to want to run into a Trample. okay? And then you're going to want to hit them with the lacerate, and if the lacerate doesn't kill them, they're already going to be slowed and have all the benefits of slowing. You're going to pulverize them, and you're going to keep pulverizing them, and you have the way to get the guaranteed stun. So you can stun them after doing all that to them, and they're slowed. And if you don't kill them by this time, you just beat them down with your maul. Like I said, this is going to be like your burst combo. Again, guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm having so much fun making these. I cannot wait for the game to come out. I'm just super hyped, super hyped. Remember, guys, if you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing, drop a like on the channel, go in the comment section down below, and let me know if you still think Druid is going to be garbage when the game launches, because I'm telling you guys right now, Druid is going to be a beast. Clip it, tag me in it, and if I'm wrong, you guys call me out, but I'm telling you right now, without any legendaries, Druid is already the craziest class for PvP. If it's not the best, guys, it is going to be in the top 3 for sure, without a doubt. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for coming and watching, and as always, peace out.